What if God came down one day and said, "It's pronounced Jod," then left? Well, I'd have to think he's just trolling because God actually isn't even his name. His name is YHWH, God is just what people called him when they didn't want to use his actual name, and after a while it just became the only thing people called him. Christians, Jews, and Muslims only believe in one God, so calling their God, God, never had the problem of becoming confusing. Though I know certain sect of Christians call him Jehovah, which seems to be an anglicized version of YHWH. And also Allah is just Arabic for God, it's not another name for him. It's like the equivalent of Christians saying Deus, the only difference is Latin has lost its value as the Christian/Western world's lingua franca. Some crazy Christian Karen would go off on some tangent about him being sent from Satan and it wasn't really Jod himself. And how she doesn't have to be told what to call him. Screaming and swearing in front of her kids, stomping her foot saying how the anti-Jod people are what's wrong with the world and make a bad place for her kids, all the while acting like a lunatic and a terrible example, screaming about how she had religious freedoms and I should do what she says because fuck my freedoms because I'm hiking in the mountains or playing baseball with my kids Sunday morning instead of sitting in church. People can get pretty upset when you correct them on the simplest thing. Now imagine being told that the way your religion has been doing things is the wrong way, especially since some people's religions are a huge part of who they are. I feel like a large number of people would just turn around and say, "Fuck you, you're wrong," and just continue as they were before. This would then cause the other half to launch a crusade to purge the blasphemous sinners for defying God. I think it would be pretty entertaining to see a bunch of Bible thumpers go at it. That doesn't make sense. The word God is not his name, after all. It's just a description we use instead of the actual name, because for thousands of years, Abrahamic religions were pussyfooting around using the actual name until the actual name was lost to history. It was probably something like Yahweh, but the old texts famously leave out the vowels in that name, so that part is guesswork. Same story with Allah. That's not a name, much less a different one. It's just the God in Arabic. Arabic-speaking Christians will also use Allah when talking about God. A little girl asked her mother, "How did the human race appear?" The mother answered, "God made Adam and Eve and they had children and so was all mankind made." 2 days later the girl asked her father the same question. The father answered, "Many years ago there were monkeys from which the human race evolved." The confused girl returned to her mother and said, "Mom, how is it possible that you told me the human race was created by God, and Dad said they developed from monkeys?" The mother answered, "Well, dear, it is very simple, I told you about my side of the family and your father told you about his." People will say God doesn't know what he is talking about. It is pronounced God, not Jod. Prime example is how we pronounce the word Nike. The chairman of the company has responded with how the word should be pronounced, but the people keep saying that Nike is incorrect pronunciation. https://www. Independent. Co. UK/news/business/Nike is pronounced Nike confirms guy who ought to know 9470111. HTML https://www. Independent. Co. UK/news/business/Nike is pronounced Nike confirms guy who ought to know 9470111. Linguistics student here. You have no idea how much this pains me. Pains me. I'm suffering. If this even happens, I will eat my own foot, I swear. In the English language, the go sound is pronounced with a hard G. It's not Joe, it's not Jude, it's not Jold, it's not Joing or Joel. It's go, good, gold, going, goal, etc. Look up go words in the dictionary. Hard G, all of them. The closest you get is gouge, and that's with the second G, as the E is there to soften it. According to Etymonline, all the etymology for that English version of God comes from other words with a hard G or even a K sound. God in German, Kut Gaia in Greek. This pains me. Physically pains me. I lie awake at night haunted by this. Please stop this tyranny, I beg of you. Every major religion today only used God as an English name. In Russian it's Bog. In Spanish it's Dios. The actual name of God varies. The Jews have it as YHWH or Elohim, Jehovah for the Christians, and we Muslims have the name Allah. All of these are names for the same God, the Lord of Ibrahim as Abraham. The Hindi word for God is Bhagwan, and other religions and languages have other names. The name Allah is actually attributed to God, but the word God itself is just another name. Even in Arabic, the Lord of Ibrahim as is Allah, but the word God itself is Ilaha. Then 1. I'd need to be there to record it for myself as proof to future generations that there is a God and that you do in fact pronounce it Jod. 2. Then I'd have to ask why there is so much hate in the world. And can he sort out this bullshit housing market that means houses are 10x more expensive than they're really worth? 3. Finally, I'd visit every church, mosque and temple within a 50 miles radius to personally apologize for thinking they're all idiots. 4. I know this isn't final, but if Jod could sort me a baller of whatever heaven weed he's got, I'd love to try it. The real consequence would be a complete re-evaluation of how we pronounce the German language, https://www. @amonline.com/word/God. The root of God, Guthan, comes from Proto-German, and the languages in that family had no ambiguity regarding the pronunciation of the consonant letters. It would be about 400 years for such an ambiguity to develop in one of the language branches, which only happened because that branch absorbed many words from languages of other families.